Let's talk about breathing for better sex. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. Tough topic, we're not allowed to talk about sex, certainly not any details, right? Oh, TMI, too much information. But for those of us who are interested in a wellness approach to life, this is not an area we can ignore. And we shouldn't. This is part of being human, and it's as I've said, in the reproductive system, the philosophy of the reproductive system, this is the only system that looks outside of yourself, okay? This has to be together with your male and a female is the only way this is going to work, and it has to be together. And it's a shame. I realize that science is advancing to the point where we're producing babies in a test tube or whatever. But that's a tragedy. Okay, that's really an abomination of the natural process. And I'm really big into natural process, and I believe that wellness and the natural approach gets us the best results. And what are we talking about from a results of sex? There's two results for sex. Bonding, pleasure, right? That's one big result, and that happens the most of the time, right? Sex for pleasure is mostly what we have, and then there's babies, and that's success. Those are two successful things, and that's what we're going for. We're going for the success of sex, and that is to create that bonding for the most part, and then occasionally the baby. Okay, and so what kind of breathing can we do? How do we bring our consciousness to breathe? Now, in this particular case, I am talking about using this breathing consciously while you're having sex, right? This is what I'm talking about, is to how can you direct your energies and bring your attention to the right, in a way that would enhance your experience of bonding during sex, okay? So I know this is some of you who will never look at me the same again. I get it. But this is an important part of wellness, and put your valor on, get your release in your Sara, let go of the crud, let go of the junk, and recognize that this is natural and beautiful, okay? All right, so what we've been talking about, I highly recommend that you watch my other video on the core tone and circulation, because I do some breathing in there, and to at least get an awareness. I'm assuming that you've done some breathing to become aware of your genitals, aware of your organs. Okay, now obviously I've never been a woman, never been a girl. I don't know exactly, breathing into your parts, how that feels to you. I'm from a guy perspective, okay, but one of the things that happens is, for a guy, the focus is all about ejaculation, right? That moment of orgasm, and then after that you're done. There's everything. It's like, okay, well, too bad for the girl, and some people say, well, okay, it came too early, and there's nothing we can do about that. Well, if you allow that your breathing is going to be part of this process, then you can be a lot closer together on that. And then even if there's a release for the guy, there's still that circular, that bonding and that energy that's flowing that can keep you going, and allow for the girl to have her orgasm time. Okay, so it's this. I told you we're going to talk. This is the real deal here. Okay, now, so breathing. And again, I'm going to breathe. During sex, I'm talking about breathing and bringing my awareness. Okay, sometimes it's not for guys. If you're too quick on the draw here in terms of the ejaculation, then you need to perhaps be aware of more of the rest of your body, okay, and not just what's going on down there. So that's where breathing in and being aware and gathering that sexual energy that we did last video, that in the core tone and circulation video, but bringing and expanding your sexual energy to incorporate, and that would be something you could do, on the build up for a little bit there, just 2 breaths. When I talk about build up, I'm talking, you could do this in 1 or 2 breaths, okay? It doesn't require this, long time of working this up here, but just becoming aware of the sexual energy that's moving through your whole body, okay? And then allowing that sexual energy to be shared with your partner, okay? And so this is basically what we're talking about, of feeling that, if you want to put a color to it, red, or, you can pick your own color, but there's a lot of red energy that comes out of the base energy system here. And that's a very creative energy, right? This is exciting and creative energy. You can access this outside of sex, but during the time for sex, we're going to focus that and share it, okay? And so that's where that energy is being offered to literally. You can breathe into that. So the union, okay, I'm going to represent, this is the union. So here's the union time. And we're breathing in. If this is me over here, we're breathing in, and of course there's a time when there's an overlap of that union, okay? And so here we are, we're in the overlap of that union. So this part's me, and there is where the energy exchange is happening, okay? When I'm breathing in, and if I'm breathing all the way into my parts, okay, then I'm aware of her parts, all around, and I can use my awareness to increase my presence, my conscious presence there around, okay? Now, for the girl, again, so this is you, the girl, this is the girl parts, there's again an overlap and a union, and you're bringing your awareness to that connection with your breath. It's a simple breath awareness, and be present for that. And this is why when I'm saying if sex is painful, if you don't have good wellness, if your structure is out of balance, if your hips are off, if you don't have good circulation so that literally things are numb down there, then your sex is not going to be that great. But you can work with your breath to increase your awareness down there. Now, what can happen is if you increase your awareness down there, all of a sudden it hurts. Well, that's a big downer for both sides, okay? And so if that's happening, then you need to look at getting the adhesions worked out mainly for girls. The adhesions may be pulling. So the vagina is the tube that sits right between the bladder and the rectum. Okay, so here's the vagina, the bladder, and the rectum. All right, and so the rectum would be up against here, vagina would be here, bladder would be here, and so this is sandwiched down. So the vagina itself might actually be adhered, especially if you've got a lot of intestinal inflammation, pelvic inflammation, that can get adhered. And when these two tubes are adhered together and you start getting action or pulling motion in the vagina, and you're pulling on the rectum, that doesn't feel good. Okay, so this is where you need to work these adhesions out with structural body work. This is not done, I'm not talking about body work that's done internally. I'm talking about from the outside, getting the abdomen released of adhesions, and that can be done. It's called visceral release work, and you can find a therapist who is trained to do that. And again, I am not talking about anything inside any orifice, okay? I'm talking about this is completely outside, and you can work on the adhesions in there. So, what I'm saying is as you increase your awareness of your genital area, then you definitely are going to get potentially some pain there if that's what's going on. And that might be what's blocking you. Now, if in a married relationship, your sexual relationship is a lifetime thing. So, if you discover that things have been hurting, then work together here on this, communicate, and say, okay, let's put a priority to getting our sex life back on track. This is important, but to just not understand why you're not interested anymore isn't acceptable. Or to suggest there's nothing I can do. It hurts, so I'm just going to back off. No, we need to work on this for both sides. Now, I don't know how many situations there are where the guy has pain. Again, that would be a little different from a massage standpoint, but I'm gonna have to. I don't know how to work with that. Okay, if you've been in a car accident or something going on in your pelvis and there's pain for the male during sex, that's totally related to the organ. I don't know, and you're gonna find the right kind of massage for that. But if you're talking about the hips hurt or the back hurts, you know what I'm saying, associated with sex, then yes, you can get body work that can help with that, and oils can help. The pain cream not on the genitals, by the way, but the pain cream could help to give you that. So it might be that as you prepare for sex, you know that you could go and give each other some massages with the pain cream. I know that, and then let that, wait 30 minutes, let that smell disperse. But you're preparing, and okay, things are going to hurt. I don't want that pain to disrupt our sex. So let's go ahead and use the pain cream, and let's go ahead and use do some toning. And it's okay to actually acknowledge that you're going to prepare and work toward having good sex, okay? That's okay. I mean, you would prepare for a workout at the gym, so why wouldn't you think of the same kind of thing? Hey, honey, let's have sex. Okay, let's do our toning. Let's get ready for that, okay? And have a better time with it. And recognize that you might have to have some things that you're working through. And so here's where these oils are fabulous, right? We have our Sarah, working through any abuse history, our Valor for being courageous for a topic that socially we're really backwards on, and Release. Actually, this could be good for the release time for sex too. And then we like the Ylang Ylang. Gives a wonderful fragrance for enhancing the bedroom time. But let me tell you, in terms of the Ylang Ylang, we put it on at the pubic area, right above the pubic bone, maybe on the inner thighs, about 4 or 5 drops, and it lasts. The aroma that triggers an increased awareness and increased interest lasts about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're putting the Ylang Ylang on, or if you're just kind of putting it in the room, and then half an hour later you're getting to business, then you've lost that zing part that's going to happen with the Ylang Ylang. So it's kind of apply and get busy, all right? And so that's how we use Ylang Ylang for better sex. And again, it's the fragrance that we're talking about as providing that extra buzz. Okay. So breathing, let's come back to that time of joining, breathing for that joining time, okay, and you're breathing in, and you're breathing in with your partner, and you feel that energy that's right there of the togetherness. And as you pause and bring your awareness to your partner, for guys, that's going to slow down your release time. And you'll be surprised at how that enhances, how it speeds up your girl's time, okay? In terms of if you bring that awareness and consciousness. So it's about giving. And then, of course, there's that, because your body is actually producing the life-giving element, okay? That's in terms of the guys, your body's producing this sperm, the seed of the next generation. Your body is actually devoting significant energy to the next generation. That's beautiful. Don't be casual about that. That's why masturbation for men is really negative. It's really draining, and it's against the real spiritual purpose of what we're doing. Okay, so this concept or philosophy then is like I said, this is the only system in our body where we're focusing on someone besides ourselves. We're focusing on the next generation. And sex during conception is amazing, okay? And for those if you have how sad it is to make a baby on, oops, 3 weeks later we found out we made a baby some time ago, as opposed to we're making a baby. How beautiful is that to know? And the energy of that, the energy of conception and the energy associated with that is very, very spiritual, very powerful. So don't miss out on that awareness for those of you who are interested in that. Okay, so I know I've probably many of you conservative, people that are in my circle have already shut me off because we were talking about sex, but. Wellness approach to sex, I'm all about that, okay? And again, we use breathing. I use breathing. Amy says she does, and we use breathing a lot for our overall wellness, but we use it for better sex as well. And it really brings to the moment. Girls, I know you can be really, really distracted with all the stuff that's going on, and you want Facebook and your Facebook friends and all the rest, and you're busy building your Young Living business and all the rest of this stuff. And you need to be able to breathe and bring your attention back down to what's going on. And that breath can bring you that focus in one single breath. It does take a little bit of practice. I encourage you to do that. Happy wellness.